So what's the word, YouTube? Go loud. So I'm reading this book right here. I'm turning this down just a little bit. Reading this book and shit. So I'm just diving into this shit and reading what it was talking about because I need this shit. So let's start with this. Artists who communicate to 2D either start with the shape of the compositional space or the shape of the character. Good 2D designs create a visual representation of an ideal, message, or observation. The beautiful poster of Cassandra, you see her shit? Designed in 1930s, communicated style and everything from the choice of typeface to the tasteful design illustration. And his travel poster, stylized style, created design that told the story of elegant ships sailing to exotic places. Type shit. Just a certain type font arranged a certain way can add meaning to the whole page. Meaning to the words on the page. Cassandra's ship became graphic symbols that communicated the grand idea of glamorous sailing away on an adventure. When you look at the When you look at the drawing in this chapter, you can safely assume that the artists were not just copying what was there. They were also deliberately designing a message. Say character costume, texture, expression, light, shadow, music, mood, drawing material. What we observe, feel, and intend get filtered through the range of marks we are making. I like this shit though. Like a box first. Like a little ship and a big ship. That's hard. Yeah. I don't know why I look like that though, but that's hard. Then they say at the drawing club, the design problem solving skills the artist's brains are different depending on the kind of work they do. Story artists like models to do quick, daring poses because they are looking for gestural movement as it relates to storytelling. Their sense of design is heavily invested in the communication of the moment rather than what media looks best. A big black magic marker is fine because it doesn't have to be sharpened. Look for lines and shapes that best describe how the character should move in that moment. The drawing can almost look messy with lines drawn freely, searching for just the right mark, which is okay because the drawing they do at work are usually only seen in meetings or will be refined later or in the process. You know, it's tough. A character artists, on the other hand, are looking at the model like a raw ingredient that will be turned into their own version of the character. When the model shows up in costume and start posing, they look at the shape made by the costume and character and get to work redesigning, much like how Cassandra redesigned the future of a cruise ship to make it feel more glamorous and interesting. Character artists redesign shapes to make the character funnier, scarier, happier, or sadder. They take the pieces apart. A gangster's hat, tie, overcoat, drooping cigarette, and gun, and create their own version. I often see them do a variety of designing in a box. They design a silhouette for the overall shape of the character first, and then design the smaller shapes within that shape. But just the silhouette shape alone can communicate a distinct emotional tone, evoking scary or funny. I can always represent the poses. I can always recognize the poses, but the character in the drawing will look completely different from artist to artist. That shit fire. shit hard. James Brown. Yeah. Alright, so I gotta reread this. My video had cut off on me. So I'm coming out this other character design book. So it's like when telling the story, keeping the tone of the project is in mind is key. For example, designing characters that are too scary and dark in tone for young audiences might not be appropriate and could result in the failure of a project. It's important to consider your audience, be it teen, adult, or children, or when setting out your design for a character. Simplification and exaggeration, as we have seen, are keys and tools and stuff like that for conveying a character personality, and these feed into most of the areas explored in the book. You've seen costumes, accessory, and poses, and to tell the viewer about the character story role. For the most part, stick to humorous, friendly, simple designs. Keep it cool for your young audience as you move into teens. You incorporate darker and airy tones and more visual complexity into the niche. It's not all your designs bring to the within the same niche. Their audience. So it should stick to a particular tone or style. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. That's not to say all designs need to remain within the niche. You know what I'm saying? Of their audience. So shit, they can grow. You know what I'm saying? They can change colors and styles and shit like that too. The one that don't often, the ones that don't. Ooh, how they say it? The ones that don't are often the ones that are remembered. Okay. Adults, for example, can enjoy cute designs, and kids can appreciate spooky ones. It's a character design. It's a character designer's job to assess each brief and know which direction to take. Showing that older people might benefit from simpler, friendlier designs to get a comical story across, whereas a show aimed at children might benefit from darker designs that reflect stories and situations with a heavier tone. Knowing how to thoughtfully approach design for different situations and narratives can result in a project that remains with audience for years to come. So you got some characters like this. Say this character is a ghost widow for a dark spooky theme. Shit look weird. She could easily fit in horror genre or even a gothic TV show for a teen audience. You know what I'm saying? A few alternate takes on this character were explored before settling on this design as shown in the smaller thumbnails here, of course. See this one. Say designs for a preschool audience, so they say so the children's target audience will young group aim for fun design should capture the range. You know what I'm saying? We go to this side. This a mobster ghoul character with design intention to scary, not too scary, portrayed by fun. It's fun yet dark design. It's got a dark tone and the younger audience with aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Like some kid shit though. On this page, some more designs. Design a character that is ultimately translating three-dimensional scope. Explore shapes, forms, and the early design stages will greatly throughout production.
Home without the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. It comes along for every ride and has up to 4 hours of battery life. Its subject-centered
boxes
puts all the
are designed for a sports project.
The JBL Tour 1 M3 headphones come with the Smart DX transmitter. and plugs into any USB-C or analog audio source. Perfect for dads on the go or quiet time. And the GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker is a dad's
Let's see.
The active smoke
What's on
filtration
paper will not always match the intended tone. It's up to you to know how to approach it. Good to benefit from a soft and friendly approach.
Family movie night
This character was designed to be on
with the Hue Play Gradient 75-inch light strip. Check it out. It mimics the colors on the screen based on what you're watching.
simplification.
Get all these must-haves and more.
So if we talking about simplification, simplification plays an integral part in character design. Often the simpler you make a character, the more impactful that design become when designing a character for a show. Direction might require a more streamlined style look, which is where simplification comes into play when you are playing with it. So I'm gonna read it in my mind, just let you look at it. So take a look. But I want to get into more showing you. You can pause and shit like that, but I'm gonna show you a little bit more. There's some shit I'm gonna read on my own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got a decent shape. You got decent shapes to them.